Hello, everyone. Welcome to this behind the song session. So Stardust has been down for a few days. Um, I thought that yeah, it would be nice if I can walk you guys through um, the song and like all the elements and how I more it's like compose, build, and mix a song. Um, yes, so this is the project that we're having right here. It's not a very crazy track, um, but it has some really interesting elements. So we will go through. I usually start with let's start with like the drums because that's usually how I often mix. So a lot of the stuff here, I have to turn off like a lot of the bus processing. I will turn them on to play them so you can hear how it sounds. But for the purpose of this session, I have to turn them off because otherwise, like my CPU is gonna fry and you're actually not gonna hear anything. So it makes no sense if I do that. All right, so we're gonna go with the drums. And how does this start? So if you just zoom it right in where all the drums are, maybe just a little bit more. So in the beginnings we have the keyboard and the ambient part, which yeah, I'll go back to it later maybe. Or no, I just do it now because there isn't a lot of things happening. So yeah, the drum's not gonna be the first thing. So what we have here is the pads, just sound like this. Yep. So the pad itself was, I believe, pigment, either pigment or serum. I don't remember exactly. But those are more or less the two synthesizers I use for this. And I have this intro here, which is on the 87, and this one is basically like I took a part of this first pad, and I wanted to make it to make it sound a bit different. So I put on like two chroma, crank all the way up the color and all the notes, both of them going through a vintage reverb and an EQ. So without this, it would sound like this. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me just boost it up a bit. Right. But I don't want it to sound too close to what its end up will be. That's why I like to put this thing on. So then it sounds like this. There's a slight difference to it, right? It's not very huge. Oh no, I didn't turn it on. Sorry. It's actually, so it's just a bit brighter in terms of tone. Yeah. So we have the ambient parts, and the next thing on this is the piano, which we have two piano over here. The first one is this. So this one is Noah, one of my favorite piano, because they have this options for effects that you like. For this one, for example, like I was just playing chords and all the delay and other like little notes that are happening are like it's programmed into the effects, and it sounds really nice. So I really like it. So there's a soothe on it just to tame a little bit of that. Right. Because I think I want the tone to be a bit duller, but I didn't want to abuse the EQ on it. That's why you put a soothe on it. And there's another one that going through it, which is this thing. Oh, sorry. It's not. Ah! So these are just like individual notes, and I want to put something underneath. Mostly like these are like the low notes, because these one I don't have the effects on the noir, so like I don't want it to have this like delay on them, but I still want that low note support. That's why like I do it separately, and together they sound like this. And with this you can hear some like weird like ambient things in the background, because like with the noir they have this so another effect called like pianist, where they just add like little movement, so like the creaking of the chair or like your hands or your breathing or whatnot. So you just add a bit of like human element to it. Yeah, so like the beginning of the track there, basically those are the two main elements, and then we have the vocal, which sound like this. Let me just solo it a bit. Yes.
While you lay in my arms, so cold and drift through the night.
So, what I'm having here, usually for me, like I do composition on an additional session for most of the instrumentation, and then I have a different session for recording vocals. So all the vocals you're seeing from here are already like have some effects on them and printed, so like mostly like EQ and compression, some saturations. This one I believe I put. Did I have a additional delay before that? I don't remember exactly if I print that one. Let me see.
While you lay in my arms, so
okay, so no, but it's already compressed and EQ. That's why, like here, as you can see, I don't have any EQ or compression on it. I have a de-esser. There was probably already another de-esser in the chain when I recorded.
While you
De-esser, outlaw, it's just basically like a vocal rider, so that it keeps the volume somewhat balanced. SDA delay, I really like this delay on a vocal, and it just sound, I don't know, it's different from different kind of delay that I used. I tend to change them depending on the song, depending on the vibe. I feel like with this one I didn't want to use like the fruity delay, or other kind of delays that I usually use, because like this one has a more of a gentle kind of tail to it, which fitting for this particular part of the song. And then I have a fruity convolver, which is like a reverb. So without the reverb, it sounds like this.
While you lay in my arms, so
Right, so as you can see, like the delay is very subtle, very very subtle in the background. And when you put it reverb,
while you lay in my arms, so cold and drift through the night.
yeah. So that's the intro. So now we're gonna go to this pre-chorus, I suppose you could call it, and we're gonna go through the drum, which is one of my favorite part of this whole ordeal. Okay, so what does the drum sound like? And it's lagging. Okay, happens sometime. Alright, there we go. And I think the meat and potato of these, the drum, I think most of the drum on this song are like this glitch drum, or like this one sound absolutely insane. And right now I'm turning off the drum bus, but I would try to turn it on. Hopefully it doesn't crash or something, and then you can hear exactly what is happening. So what I'm having is an OTT on it, a virtual tape machine. It's really nice for the low end, some EQ, multi-band compressions, more EQ, the balance, just like for basically like auto volume automations, and a clipper. And on the glitch drum, I also have the compression, some EQ, Saturn. I love Saturn. One of the best saturation plugin. So like if let me just turn it on. If I turn off the effects on the glitch drums, it can sound like this. Yeah, so make it a bit boomy, a bit more boomy. And then we have this hybrid, this is an ambient kick and the hybrid snare. So with the delay on a snare, and also I have this other different snare that lays on top, which a clap. There's another snare up here. There's a lot of snare going on. And then we have this 808 underneath. And all this metallic percussive hits. Yeah, this one adds so much motion to it. I really like it. Yeah, and that's how the drums sound during this part. Alright, what are the... Okay, let me just turn the drum bus off again. So yeah, that's how the drums sound, and then we have this bass going on. Just a bit of this one is for sidechain compression. So if you have the kick drum on it, it's gonna duck down the bass a bit, just the low end. And then we have down to the synthesizer. We have this two. To the orchestration, we have violins, some additional impact. also have like more hits down here. Then we go to the chorus, which we have even more crazy drums. Let's see what they sound like. All right. Yeah, so you got this glitchy drums. Some crash, and this distorted kick drum. Yeah. Snare. And up here we have the modern and massive sample library. Very simple. Just kick and snare. Nothing too crazy. Again, the meat and bones, meat and potatoes, whatever the saying is, are the other drums element. And then we have this bass. We got a sub bass, which is playing one note. Alright, so if we just solo the drum and the bass, gonna sound like this. Yeah, I love like a explosive snare with a relatively long tail. It just sounds huge and create this sense of like space. Yeah, and then after that we have the synth. So we have this arpeggiator. And another arpeggiator. Also another arpeggiator but more in the pad sort of direction. Then down here we have the vocal for the chorus.
I want the world keep spinning round, attuned to your sound, burning out, stardust we never found, like a flame, hearts in flames, a cold night to say your name.
Yeah, so what is happening here? We have a lot of different vocals. But these are already some. Again, like because I recorded them differently, so separately. So all of these are already like panned, some EQ and compressed to a certain degree. with some additional um, mixing and engineering over here, but nothing too crazy. So we have like this chorus harsh, which is like
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning out.
so yeah, a more like a harsher sort of like with that projection with it, because like this is a very dense mix, and if I were to just have like a normal singing voice, this voice would not really cut through the mix. That's why I like to layer usually like a bit of the harsh, almost like semi screaming underneath, so it can cut through. And then we have this high, this like a harmony, either a harmony or just the main melody but high.
While the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning out.
Okay, so it's the main melody just higher, or more or less maybe it's yeah, I think just the same, it's just like a different tone.
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning out. Stardust we never found, like a flame, hearts in front. A cold night to say your name.
Okay, actually I should have turned this thing off, I think, because the delay should have gone into this thing, which is or maybe I didn't. Maybe I like both of it, because this one doesn't. It's not a lot, so maybe that's why I still left it there. So if I turn off this thing,
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune.
yeah, that's a long. Okay. I have to turn on this thing. That's why. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound.
All right. That's how it should sound like. And so the delay on the chorus buzz isn't too strong, and then I have this extra delay, which is the same plugins, just a lot more on the output. It's completely wet. There's no dry signal on this thing, and I have a limiter on this. Basically, what it does is like it's a sidechain delay.
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune.
So as you can see here, like whenever the dry vocal is happening, the delays get really compressed and limit, so you don't really hear it. But then like when the vocals open up, the delays go through. You could use it if you use like Timeless from Fab Filter, which I have, but I didn't use on this one. They have the same. Basically, it's built into the delay where you can duck the dry the wet signal whenever the dry signal is happening, or you can use something like this where you sidechain the main vocal, and then you just do the same thing. So that's the main vocal, and then the low.
Hi, while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning.
So this one, it's a low one, but it's not a pedal note, so it's just a low. And then I auto-tune it quite a bit so that it sounds kind of robotic, but because these are backing vocals, so I didn't need it to sound too human. Like you can see the how it's exactly how robotic it sound in the chorus pedal down here. And then you have the harmonies,
High while the world keeps spinning round, attuned to your sound.
And what is interesting with this song and the chorus are like on this first chorus, we get the main harmony at the main melody and the harmony. And during the second chorus, the main harmonies, the main harmonies became the melody and vice versa, right? So I just switched the position of these two, and it sounds pretty nice. And the pedal. I was the world is spinning round, attuned to your sound. Right, it's very robotic because like I put it into autotune, completely flatten it. There is no dynamic on the vocals, so it sound like a robotic. You can achieve the same thing if you use like an alto boy, but I prefer to use it this way, so you can kind of control exactly how it turns out if you want some variation to it. So yeah, and that's how it all sounds together. And in the end, like all of these elements, just in the context of the mix, you don't really hear most of it, but when you take them out of the equations, it sounds very different. So for example, if I play the thing, I want the world is spinning round, attuned to your sound. Stardust we never found, like a flame. Right? It's not bad. You can still hear it, but essentially what I always feel with the kind of music that I create is like there's so many things that is happening in the chorus. There's so many different elements happening, and when you just have like one vocal, it sounds thin to my ears, and it doesn't have that grandeur and like majestic vibe to it. Like the moment you add like the screaming, it's already sound very different. I want the world is spinning round, attuned to your sound. Some people would probably prefer the vocal to be a bit more like stripped back, but I like how it sounds when it's like kind of majestic and full and just very upfront. I want the world is spinning round, attuned to your sound. Yeah, and then after that we have this middle part. I don't know what it's supposed to be, and we have some bass going on. No, that's the chorus. Sorry. Here, and this part we only have two things, I think, in terms of musical. We have the bell and some of that like reverse-ish quality to it. Really like very shimmery, very twinkly, like dream-like. I really like it. And we have the piano. Sorry. Again, the noir, but this one, instead of having this like delay note, it's different kind of effects, which is like a reverb kind of washout kind of sound, and it goes really nice together. And then we have this playground, ambient. This ringing tone, some haunted creaking sound that I don't know why in that moment I decided I want to have it. Well, keyboard's not working again. Okay, that's okay. And we have this voice note that was recorded by a friend of mine.
I'm not available right now. Leave a message after the beep. Talk to you soon. Love you.
And then another one down here.
Call me when you have time. Miss you.
Yeah, and together, that's how they sound.
I'm not available right now. Leave a message after the beep. Talk to you soon. Love you.
Yeah, and there's some processing on this just to make sure that it's sound nice, because if I don't have, this is what it sounds like in the beginning, straight out from the phone.
I'm not available right now. Leave a message after the beep. Talk to you soon. Love you.
Yeah. And this one as well.
Call me when you have time. Miss you. Call me when you have time. Miss you.
Just so that it fit in with the rest of the sound. And then we go to another pre-chorus, another bridge. I don't know. Structurally, this is weird. And we have the drum, which is very odd. Right, it has this because when you look at where the kick and the snare lands, right, you get that. So you still have the kick like on the first here, like a one, right? So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, right? But then like all this little like 16 kick and snare like slightly off, that just create this weird like jerky motion to it, which I really enjoy. And when you layer it with like the bass, and then the synthesizer, which is doing even is it doing something off with it? Actually no. And so like this combination of like a little bit off and with a more like straightforward bass line just create this like really nice motion to their like, right, because like now and then you feel like you were like rushing, and other time you feel like you were dragging, and just create this really interesting motion. And it fits really well also like when you listen when you see like the music video and how the character was running. It just adds so much to it. And then we have the string down here also doing some interesting thing. Yeah, we've got some impact and some glitch, which is almost inaudible in the mix. But you can hear like the little bit that tick like coming through. And if I don't have it, for example, it's very subtle in the background, but it adds that little like kind of like pops here and there, just to add this a bit of elements of ambient to it. And then I have the vocal, which
I want to hear your voice again.
so we have the main vocal, EQ on it, just to bring out a bit of that present. A hyper chorus. Yeah, and this is the timeless delay that I'm talking about with the ducking element, and it's this outlaw again, vocal writer, and this thing go into the bridge, which is being processed again with the de-esser, more EQ, reverb, and some automations like volume automation. Okay, it's lacking, and then that thing goes into the vocal bus, which have more processing. Again, I might be overdoing a lot of this, but that's just how it works mostly for me. Some more EQ, taming like this.
I want to hear your voice again.
Some dynamic EQ. This one, it's just a very it's like a high boost on at like 8K, more presence, and another EQ which doesn't do anything here. Maybe I'm using some automation, but maybe not. So that's the main bridge vocal, and then we have the vocodecs.
I want to hear your voice again.
Just a bit of texture to it.
I want to hear your voice again. I want to hear your voice again. I want to hear your voice again.
Yeah, it could have been nice too. I mean, I think during when I was working on this, like I wanted to sound not too upfront, because if you get rid of the effects on the bridge, it's nice. But I feel like in this part, when I was mixing this, during that moment, I want the vocal to sound a bit washy. Like not too upfront. Like the vocal to sound somewhere kind of far away. I think like both options sounds kind of nice. I like both of them. Maybe if I were to remix it, I would do it differently. But when I was making this, I like how it sounds. So like, yeah, I was stuck with it. Yeah, and basically it's the same phrase, just different like harmony, melody. And I think also like because like towards this part, like the transition between the two, like the vocal, because it's like a single vocal and the other one is like a huge stack of shit. I felt like the tonality between the two parts should kind of somewhat similar. So if I don't have all those crazy harmonies going on with the chorus, I might have kept that thing a bit cleaner, but because of how processed and stacked the vocal at the end was, so like I feel like, yeah, it has to have like some sort of uniformity between those two.
I want to hear your voice again.
Yeah. And then we go to the last chorus. What happened with the drums? So, drum wise, again, like the majority of it is very, very simple. What is what is crazy is this record drums. This one's very much inspired by Vanishing Snares. I was listening to a lot of his albums in the past, like a year or so, and I was like, oh yeah, this particular part, I feel like I want to put like a breakcore drums on this, because if you take it out, it sounds very boring. Yeah, just kick, snare. All right, in context of everything. Wait.
I want the world is spinning round, attuned to your style.
Right, it lacks that definition, so to speak, that these two record loop just add so much. Yeah, and so that was the drum, and then the bass, we have the same bass as before. The synthesizer are more or less the same. The only two addition we have here is the bell, right? And then this distorted leads down here. One of my favorite sound on this. So it's a very distorted leads already, and then I put another distortion on top of the whole thing, which like after a reverb, and so I love distorting a reverb sound. It just adds so much like ugliness to it almost. But in the context of this, it sounds very beautiful. I love it. I have a soothe, just tame that harshness a bit. Some semi-crazy EQ move. So without it. The synth bus, I have just more EQ. Like you see a lot of this like mid sigh and mid EQ, mostly because like these are working with the vocal, so that the vocal has a bit of more space in the middle of the mix, usually like the 1K area, and everything else kind of spread out a bit more. Get the GST BG keys, which is refusing to load right now. Yeah, just a bit of compression, a bit of that saturation on it, more gain, and another EQ with this, again, like some mid-side EQ. Yeah, down here we have, do we have any like orchestration on this one? No, there's no orchestrations here, not on this chorus. And the last bit are the vocals.
I want the world is spinning round, attuned to your
So the main vocal now is the previous harmony, right? So if I just solo this, let me see if
High while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning out, stardust we never found.
and you can already hear like this a bit of the harmony in there, but not too present. Then we have this pedal note. Then another main.
High while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound, burning out.
Got some harsh.
High while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound.
Not the best scream, but it's just there for the to cut through the mix and add a bit of that weight. And we have this double.
High while the work is spinning round.
And this one, like, I cut a lot of the P and the T and everything. Like, we don't really need that. So it sounds kind of silly on its own.
High while the work is spinning round, attune to your sound.
Yeah, so I cut all the T's because I don't want those S's in there. And then there's a vocal codec. No, that's just the previous one.
Attune to your sound, burning out, stardust we never found. Like a flame, hearts being free, a cold night to hold your
There's another additional harmony here.
A cold night to hold your hand.
And the end, there was just like this piano. With a EQ automations on it. That is opening up the high end. Yeah, and that's it. That is Stardust. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna make more of these for all of the songs in the album. This one is not very crazy, I think. It's fairly straightforward in my opinion in terms of compositions and like the vocals and everything. Even with the production, there isn't much going on. Except for, I mean, I can go through a bit of this, actually, like, what happened with the drums, but, like, I can do it with another song because the main drum, there isn't much going on with the real drum, which is basically here is like the modern and massive. So I'll go through very quickly, maybe, but it's not something too crazy. So this is the kick drum. We have an EQ on it that goes through a kick effects, which is where I put this compressor on it. The reason I'm doing this because like I want to route the normal kick drum to all the other weird shit that is happening down here without that addition that compressor on top. So I just want like the raw kick sound, right? It goes through a parallel drum, which is like it's going to a smash and grab and another smash and grab. There's a Misha from Periphery. What's the word? Go to approach, I guess. It's got a room bus, which another smash and grab and an EQ. This is Saturn. Okay, this one is kind of interesting. So what you're seeing here is a plugin that I built inside FL Studio. So we have here squash, burn. I'll explain what they are later. Input, beef, air. If you're working with audio production, you kind of know this is like the low end, this is the high end. Got attack, release, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I don't remember exactly what these knobs are doing. Warm, bite, and sizzle. So it looks pretty nice. It's like a plugin. And when you go into the what is happening behind it, yeah, it looks pretty fucking funny and fun at the same time. Why is it? It's nice. Okay, it doesn't really look funny, but it looks fun. So essentially, what this thing is a multi-band compression, a parallel multi-band compression, because I'm really squashing the sound. So if I play like the drill drum. It's getting a bit of that compression going on. It's not too crazy, but it's kind of there. So essentially, like I just split it into 3 bands, right? So you got a Pro Q here that is filtering everything below like 150. This thing is doing anything from 150 to 2K5, and this one 2K5 and above. And then I run it through like Pro C. So this you can see what the compression is doing. Like if I move the warm up, like you can see the threshold is being lowered. So you can now hear it's getting a bit more compressed on the low end. Yeah. And the attack, control the attack, the release, control the release, right here. And let's see what this knob's doing. Okay, this one controls the ratio. So all of these knobs are doing the exact same thing with different compressor. And another thing that is also controlling is this one. It's the saturator plugins. Also, like if I move this warm knob, it's lower the amount of saturations. Why? Because like I don't want it to sound too squash or destroy, because the more compression you're gonna have, and if I also turn up the saturation of this thing, it's gonna sound maybe a bit silly. And my goal for this plugin is not to make it sound silly, but rather to have a nice like multi-band compression with saturation on them. So like if I move up this worm with this, you have more compression but have less saturations. So that's not, it's really fun when I to build this plugins. I really like it. So yeah, it's the same thing. Then all of them going back here, and so this you see this 2 weird knobs here, and it's not knob. What's wrong with me today? Like these 2 shelf, and these are what the beef and the air is doing, right? If I turn it off, like the EQ curve turn it on, there we go. And if I boost it, same thing with the air. Right, and the input is just like how much input. Squash, I think the squash is the amount of compression that is happening. Let me see. Yeah, so if I pull up the squash, you can see like the amount of how many percentage of the compression is happening. And the burn is the amount of saturation that is going on with the mix knob down here. And I think this one control all of the mix, all of the knobs from all 3 compression, all 3 saturators. Yeah. So here you have 100% saturation, and here it's just like 50. So the reason why it doesn't sound too crazy on this one Like you hear it, but then because I also have this parallel compression going on already, so I did not want it to do too much. And then also on this one we also have this this plugin that does not want to be turned on. Yes, so. And I also have this saturation, Saturn 2 going on. Right, so that's, it sounds, well, like a real drum set right now. When I turn on the saturation, it's a bit more snappy. So because of all of that, they all work in conjunction with one another. So like, I don't want this Saturn drum to sound too crazy. Yeah. But okay, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go into another song next time. I will probably go with Poison first because that is the second single that is coming out, and then when the album comes out, I will release. I will do the rest of the albums and go through the production and everything is going on. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you like this, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, so that you don't miss out on other videos. And until then, go listen to Stardust if you haven't. And it would be weird if you haven't and you're watching this. Yeah, stream the album when it comes out. But you can pre-order the album on Bandcamp. Would be very lovely if you do. And yeah, until next time, ciao.